Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to give you the detailed explanation of the story Damon and Pythias, which is the chapter 5 of MCB for class 5. But before I start, please subscribe to my channel to keep yourself updated with new videos every week. So this is a story about true friendship. I'm sure you have your best friends too, and you can relate to the story well. So let's start. This is a story about two good friends whose name was Damon and Pythias. They both were traveling to Syracuse. It is an ancient city in southern Italy. After a tiresome journey, they stopped at an inn. It's a place where you can take rest and eat food. They decided to spend the night there as they too were tired and hungry. After getting freshened up, they went to eat. There they heard some of the travelers talking about their cruel and powerful king Dionysius. Pythias was listening to those people, and he spoke that the citizens should protest against the cruelty of the king. But an old man stopped him from saying, as there are king spies everywhere, if the spies inform the king, he will be killed. Hearing this, Damon told Pythias to calm down, as they do not belong to this city. But Pythias was adamant to go against the king, and he influenced the others to do so. The next morning, when they reached the gates of the city, the soldiers captured them in chains and brought them to King Dionysius. In the court, King Dionysius and Pythias had an argument, and Pythias was sentenced to death for calling the king a tyrant. But Pythias was given one last wish before he dies, where Pythias demands to go home and bid his family goodbye. The king laughed hearing this, as he was sure that Pythias would not return. But then Damon spoke that if his friend Pythias does not return, he can execute him instead. So the king agreed and gave Pythias 1 month to return, otherwise Damon will be executed. And so Damon was imprisoned, and Pythias left for home. Pythias travelled over land and sea till he reached home. He finished all his unfinished business and bade farewell to his family. But on his journey to Syracuse, he faced with many problems. First, the ship he boarded on was attacked by pirates, and the passengers were thrown in the sea with nothing. He was determined to save his friend, so he swam ashore and started walking. Syracuse was still 100 miles away. In the kingdom, Damon was very relaxed in the prison. He had no fear or worry in him, because he was so sure that his friend would return. This thing bothered the king more, and he called Damon to the court. The king said that it had been 3 weeks already, and his friend might have forgotten all about him. But Damon was confident that Pythias would return. He must have met with some trouble on the way. The king did not believe him and laughed away his words. On the day of the execution, Damon was brought in front of a large crowd. The king sat in a grand tent to watch the execution. As the sun sets, Damon will be executed. Still, Damon was confident of his friend's return. As soon as the sunset approached, the executioner raised his sword, when they heard a loud cry, and that was from Pythias. he shouted to stop the execution. His clothes were torn, feet were bleeding from walking. The crowds cheered, seeing the power of friendship. The king, amazed by their friendship, forgave both of them and praised Damon and Pythias. Their lives were spared. The king promised, many years from now, people will remember their true friendship, and to this day, people still remember them as true friends. So, this is all about the story. But before I end, can you tell me why didn't the king believe that Pythias would return? Let me know in the comments below. Till then, see you next week. Thank you.